Hey everybody, welcome back to the TrashRats podcast. I'm your host, Rusty Cage, joined as always by Mumkey Jones and Reactor.
Hey, what's up everyone?
Hey, it's me, Mumkey Jones.
Wow, Mumkey, you're sounding as healthy and normal as usual.
No, goddamn.
Okay, guys, listen up. I just want to get this out of the way. At the end of the last episode, I promised the adoring fans, and listen, I don't deceive my fans. I always fulfill all of my promises, folks. I promised that on this episode, I would experiment with a gas station drug called Kratom. Reactor, you know more about this than me. What is this shit?
All I know is it's a substitute for opium, kind of.
It's
like heroin?
A substitute for opium.
Like if you have an opiate addiction, people use it to cool their withdrawal. Maybe.
Wait, how's it
Something
spelled?
Like
Kratom.
Yeah.
Kratom.
So you took some?
Well, I bought I went to the store and bought it today. I took half a dose about 10 minutes ago, and I'm going to take the other half right now on air. So
You got to eat like
a
a teaspoon or a tablespoon of it.
Hey, I did my research. It's in capsule form. I know how many of these pills I got to take. And while I'm chugging, and these pills are fuck. You guys remember in SpongeBob when Mr. Krabs had to take his pill and it was bigger than his whole head?
No, I haven't watched SpongeBob in about 10 years.
Well, you guys are some fake M. Lemon fans then, but these are some big ass pills. So as I try to swallow them down, I guess I'll leave it to you guys.
Are they suppositories?
No.
Can't you just like I could throw like 30 pills in my mouth as long as they're gel caps, and then with a glass of water, I'll just swallow them in a second.
I'll like, I don't know what it is about swallowing pills, but I always have a heck of a time with these big ass ones. I don't know.
Is this just like some like homeopathy shit, or is this actually real?
No, it's an actual drug. It will fuck you up.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be illegal in the next 5 years, right?
No, probably not.
Isn't this how this shit works? Like everything starts off legal for a while, and then they're like, no, we got to take over. That's a Schedule I drug now.
But I think it'll be doing more good than bad.
That's what we would say about weed, and that shit's still illegal.
Yeah, that's for weird, different reasons. That's not because it's a bad drug. It's political.
Wait, are you gonna like be passing out or something? Or are you gonna be having opium effects as
No.
we're
That's
recording?
why I'm doing it right now at the beginning of the show. So as the hour goes on, you guys will experience how I change, and I'll give constant updates on how I'm feeling. I think it'll be a fun experiment.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was like exactly when I did it, but it might have been like an agonizing drunkenness.
Agonizing? Why agonizing?
That's all I remember. I hated it. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Oh God!
I think I might have taken too much though. I don't know. And plus, I took a tablespoon of the powder and ate it dry, and that was hell also. So
Yeah, I'm taking the capsules.
Well, so
and-
I mean, what? It just went into your system faster, but like, would you say a tablespoon?
yeah, like a spoonful.
Okay, I mean, so I imagine you're saying these are giant capsules, Mumkey. It sounds like that's what you're taking now.
Yeah, he's taking way less.
I measured it out. I think each capsule is like 0.6 grams, and I've taken 8 of them, so that should be a moderate dose according to the internet.
Yeah, that should be.
All right, well, I guess
sounds
we'll
like a good
be
amount.
seeing what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love doing experimental drugs while thousands of people can listen live at home, so this will be a good experience for all of us.
All right, so now I'm going to inject this heroin into my arm. This is the first time I've ever done it. And I'm going to do it every day for the next month and then quit.
Okay.
Well, speaking of doing drugs and trying to quit them, we talked last week about how maybe I should come down and help Rusty film his sobriety from alcohol. I guess really sobriety from everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be everything. I mean, I can't imagine I'm gonna want to smoke too many cigarettes, but I don't know. Who knows how this?
Well,
is gonna
it sounds like this is really expanding into a real TrashRats boys trip. Because Reactor, you said you might be coming down too, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Why wouldn't?
Yeah, so shit.
If they stop the lockdown, I'll be able to go. I'm grounded right now, though.
Oh, okay. All right. So we just have to all appeal to our government.
Yeah, I'll ask my governor if I can go out and play.
Well, that'll be nice. That'll be cool if you guys actually come down. I mean, I got some military cots.
Yeah, I think I will be going, but
I thought I was going to share a bed with TrashRat himself.
You can do that if you want, but I really wouldn't.
He told me
recommend
I can sleep with him.
it. Okay. All right.
Does he have a big bed?
Yeah. I mean, it's big enough for 2 people, but
What about
it's-
3?
I was hoping it was a single.
It's like slippery and greasy.
Wait, his bed
Pieces
is?
of pizza in it.
When's the last time he cleaned his sheets?
That's a good question.
Wait, he's got pizza in his bed? Like he sleeps with it?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, there's stuff. He's a little bit messy.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't
like,
want to. I don't want.
I mean, like
trash
there's different
glorious
levels of
main
messy,
host.
You know?
Wait, you telling me the guy whose nickname is literally Trash Rat might be a little messy?
Yeah, I didn't think this would come as such a big shock to Reactor, but
No, I use my bed as a shelf. Like I'll sleep with stuff stacked on it next to me, but I wouldn't do it if food was in there. You know, like if there was a piece of pizza on my bed.
If I recall from the classic Reactor videos, he always had, a potpourri of things sitting on his bed in the background. I think at one point he had like a full tent was set up on his bed.
Like, yeah, if I didn't have room for stuff in my room, I would use my bed as a shelf.
So where do you sleep? In the tent?
Yeah, like just like
Sleep in a tent
sleep
on your
around the stuff, you know?
I mean, you just got to get like one of
kind
those
of nice.
those like fold up beds, so you have more room. I imagine you have a small apartment if that's the
A
case.
futon? No, I live in a house.
Oh, yeah. Well, what the fuck?
Yeah, Rusty, come on.
Just clean your bed. That's what Jordan Peterson says.
I have way too much stuff. I'm like a hoarder of electronics and like tools that I don't know, man. Like I don't want
Wasn't there an episode where there was like a dildo on your bed, like under the pillow or something? What's going on there?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, maybe I just dreamed it.
You might have been on Kratom. That's why you
Yeah.
don't remember.
What, 3 years ago when he made the video?
Yeah. Suppressed
Someone
memories.
sent me a dildo in the mail and I threw it away instantly, like right after I was done filming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know
That's
how
what-
many
you're probably just
fucking
confusing
dildos are just lost somewhere in garbage dumps?
Like all
You
the
know how
all
bad
the
that is for the environment?
all the wealthy people who just use them once and throw them away.
Yeah, they don't want to have to clean them.
Yeah, last time I flew Allegiant, I tried to put my dildo through a baggage claim and they lost it.
What, just the dildo with like a shipping tag on it with a baggage claim tag?
Oh, I didn't even have the tag. I just figured nobody would claim it when it was on the little conveyor belt.
Wait,
But it wasn't
why
even
were you
there.
trying to bring a dildo through an airport?
Yeah,
Well,
that
there was
never
no
worked.
room in my carry-on bag, so I just checked it.
Why
I
don't you
mean,
just,
where were you going?
To your house?
Wait, did you have a dildo when you came to my house?
No, I just told you they fucking lost it. Pay attention.
Okay, sorry about that. Well,
couldn't have put it
That's
in
why I
pocket or
was so.
something?
That's why I was so grumpy last time I came over. They lost my dildo. I had nothing to do all week.
yeah, you didn't tell me that until now. I was wondering
So-
like what was going on with you.
I can explain to you what happened to it after you put it on that thing. It went.
I've seen Toy Story too. I know what happens
there
behind
you
the
go.
scenes over
yeah.
there.
But some guy didn't put it on your plane because it was a random dildo. He was probably like, put this in the lost and found.
Oh,
Or
shit.
don't. I don't
Shit.
know. Like if I was working, I wouldn't grab it. Well, I remember this one guy I worked with. He like some gay porn fell out of someone's bag, and like the dude was gay that I was working with, but he walked onto the plane. He was like, "Hey, someone dropped their porn."
Did anyone
DVD."
drop any gay pornography?
Yeah, he did it. I was like, "Okay, man."
He must have had his
He's
bag
one-
spilling over with gay porn that it just like,
No, it was
fell out.
It was like the bags have that like back pocket. You know, it's like a smaller pocket.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
gay
like, the
porn
zipper
pocket.
was open. Yeah, there you go. The dildo pocket. That's what we call it.
Right.
Wait, so you worked at an airport for a time?
Yeah, I worked at American Airlines in 2005 to 2007.
2005. Okay. Well, hey, folks, listen. I'm not going to reveal the answer, but let's have a little game with the audience. Reactor, a few days ago, celebrated his birthday. I want the chat, or the comment section, the fans at home, to guess how old Reactor is. Because when I found out, I didn't believe it. You know? So I want to see if anybody at home is smarter than me.
Yeah, I seem like I'm older. People tell me that.
yeah, that's it.
Wait, so
Yeah.
what at working at the airport, what did you do there?
I was called a ramp agent. Back then it was pretty cool. It's probably hell now, but we would just sit in a break room playing video games on like the TVs in the break room or sleeping all day. And then like 2 planes would come in a day, and we would go out there and throw all the bags out of the plane.
Oh,
and
you're
then-
you're one of those fucking assholes that just like break everything in the bags because you're just throwing them willy-nilly on a little conveyor belt. Sometimes they fall off, sometimes you overshoot them.
In a single day, at least when I was doing the job, maybe more now, like each bag is considered to weigh 30 pounds. It's like the average that we weigh everything at. So each flight would have like, and these were like smaller jets, so each flight would have like 3,000 pounds on it. And if we did like 3 of those a day, that's like 9,000 pounds we're lifting a day.
So you're just getting ripped.
Well, yeah, but also if you want me to like gently take your bag and put it on the ground, your flight's never going to leave.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can kind of. I've watched these people, and it seems like they're going out of their way to be a little bit aggressive when they don't have to.
No, I think I got good at throwing bags in a gentle way.
Okay, well that's nice. You're one of the good ones.
Well, like, I would throw them, but like so that they land even on the ground and it doesn't like mess shit up.
Man, I was on an airplane once. It was like a smaller plane that just goes, from one state to the next state over, and the flight attendant comes back before we take off, and she goes, "Hey, so the plane's not balanced correctly. Can one of you come from the front seats and move to the back?" And that terrified me because just the difference of about 150 pounds was like what was necessary to make sure that this plane didn't just lose balance and then crash out of the sky.
Yeah, it's not just that. Like plane pilots always have to account for that, but also like when I was loading the planes, we had to do it evenly weighted, and we had to count the weight, and then give the pilot like there's 2,800 pounds in your compartment, and then like they have to account for that when they fly and stuff like that.
What was your airline or your airport's policy on making 9/11 jokes on the job? Because I know you can't resist.
No, I don't think. I mean, I don't remember the 9/11 jokes, but I remember one of the employees there was telling me he worked there on 9/11, and then a bunch of soldiers came out by every jet bridge, and they were just guarding it with assault rifles.
Well, like Afghani soldiers?
Yeah. No.
Oh, shit.
Probably National Guard or something.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess the airport, O'Hare in Chicago, was filled with National Guard.
Well, here's an interesting question. Not to give too many context clues to the audience, but Reactor, where were you on 9/11, 2001?
Sleeping.
The whole day?
I woke up like to my mom after the first plane hit, and she was like, "The World Trade Center was hit by a plane," and I was like, "What the fuck's a World Trade Center?"
I have no idea what that shit is.
And then all my friends, school was closed for the day because of the attack, and we went bowling.
So it was a pretty good day for you.
Yeah, I woke up, went bowling. I think I did
bowling
mushrooms that
never
day.
closed. Did mushrooms on 9/11?
I don't know. I don't remember. Something.
Well, so you guys are really coming down. I know, Mumkey, you are, because we got your flight all squared away.
Yep.
Reactor, if you think you are, I mean, that'd be tight, because Mumkey, you'll be here for like, what, a week and a half?
Yeah, and like right when I get there is when the first Biden and Trump debate is going live, and I think it'd be great if we were all there together to watch it, and maybe we could even like live stream our reaction to it or something.
That'd be tight, yeah. If we can get away with live streaming, I don't know if that's something that'll get
if we go to
taken down
C-SPAN,
instantly.
if C-SPAN has it, I don't think they will.
Well, where do normally people watch this?
I think like NBC has the rights or something, which is kind
I
of weird.
restreamed the State of the Union. I don't know if that has the same rules or not.
Did you like, because all the channels are basically restreaming C-SPAN in that case, I think.
Yeah, so fuck it. We should just do it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I don't think C-SPAN has the rights to the debate though. They should.
Well, what are they going to do? Take down Rusty Cage's Twitch account?
They
Oh,
do.
man.
They do.
Who cares? It's Rusty's account. What do I care?
Yeah. I guess.
Well, Reactor, I feel like you need to tell us some of these stories of your past to give, everyone a little bit more information about who you are and where you come from.
Okay, I'll randomly tell you a story from my past. Let me think. No,
I appreciate that.
All right, so
Okay.
yeah, I never really told these stories to the internet, but one of them, and I don't want to get in trouble, so I mean, I don't think it's that bad though. So I had guard duty when I was in the military, and there's two types of people.
Wait, the military, like Like with the Army, the Navy?
Yeah, the Army. When I was in the Army,
okay.
I was in the Army, and, when I was in the Army,
when I was in the Army.
I was in the Army, and there's two types of people in the Army: snitches and the cool kids. It's just like high school, really. You know.
So you were a snitch?
No, I was one of the cool kids. No, I mean, no, and I don't mean we were cool, but we were the ones who weren't snitches.
Yeah, the snitches are like ass kissers that are trying to move up.
Yeah.
And
We didn't get stitches. That's what I'm saying. No, but anyway.
Did they let you wear your reactor hat while on duty?
No, I didn't even have it back then.
That's bullshit.
But yeah. So anyway, I had guard duty one morning, and guard duty is like a little different than normal work. So me and this random dude from my platoon get assigned to sit in a little guard booth by a dock, and we have to be there at like 4 a.m. instead of 6:30 a.m. like everyone else.
is this in
Is this in America?
Yeah, this was in America.
Okay.
This was the Army base I was at in Virginia. So this dude's a snitch. I oversleep, and he gets there on time, and I'm not there. Instead of calling me, even though he he knew me, he was in my platoon. Instead of calling me, he calls my squad leader and snitches on me. Like, dude, you could have just called me and said, "How long till you're here? I'll try to cover." You know, like that's what I would have done. And that's
Well,
what
how
I mean,
many times has he had to do this in the past, and he's kind of getting sick of your shit because you're always over?
No, because these details only lasted like maybe 2 weeks or a month. So
I see.
it's not like I always dealt with him, but he was in my.
He should have
platoon,
done
so I
what me
dealt
and
with him a
Rusty, what me and Rusty did when Reactor missed episode 1 of the podcast, and just do it without him.
do it live. Yeah. No, but so that's kind of what I meant. Like, I wouldn't have snitched on him, and like the other people who weren't snitches wouldn't have either. It's like we had each other's backs. You know, it's like try to get a hold of you. Where are you, dude? Hurry! No one knows you're not here yet. You're good if you get here soon. But he
you need like a team player aspect and a little bit of like brotherly trust, so you can trust each other without just being like, oh, they're gonna sell me out the second it doesn't. It's not convenient for them.
And that's the other thing. Like in the military, it's like if I got captured as a POW with this dude, I'm fucked. That dude's gonna fucking roll over on me if it saves him a toe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do they recognize that? Like if the guy snitches on you, do like the commanding officers or whatever, or are they just like, all right, thanks for telling us?
It depends.
Fucking pussy.
If they're snitches themselves, because it's not really as black and white as snitches and non-snitches. It's kind of ass kissers and non-ass kissers who don't really give a fuck.
See.
Like, yeah, I'm in the Army, but I don't give a fuck about being the commander, of the, what's it called, unit. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care about gaining rank, or maybe they do, but they're still cool. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway.
Well, imagine if you and that guy get sent over to Afghanistan together, and you're on the same mission to shoot up a village of brown kids. Like, how could you trust that guy not to shoot you after he betrays you back at home?
That's what I'm saying. I would be forced to shoot him first.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Like, if someone's like that toxic, I'm not going into combat with them.
Yeah, definitely.
But I didn't even start on my point yet. So anyway, I was late. I got in trouble and was hurt at the time. That's kind of why I was on the detail. I had just had foot surgery. They couldn't smoke me.
Oh, you had bone spurs?
I had they removed a fragment of bone from my foot.
Oh.
But so I couldn't, like, normally it's called smoking, where like your chain of command will make you do push-ups until they get tired or until, they're done. So you just get kind of work out forever. They couldn't do that to me because I just had surgery. So my squad leader told me he wanted me to write a 5,000-page essay on what it means to be responsible because I was late.
5,000 page or word?
Page. No, word. I said it wrong, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So, but 5,000 words is still pretty big. So it's the Army and not college or grammar school or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll write a 5,000-word essay, no problem. So I go to Google and I type in responsibility, and I open up Notepad and go to every link that came up on Google, and I grab like a paragraph from each page and I throw it into Notepad. And I'm just throwing all these things in Notepad. And then I take, like, once I have a full page, I copy it all, throw it into Google Translator, translate it to Korean, then to Hebrew, then to Italian, and then back to English. And then I just keep filtering these all through this weird languages.
So it's nonsensical?
Yeah. Oh, it was so nonsensical. And then I handed
but
it
no
in.
one's going
right?
to read it, though.
No, they did. That's what I was thinking. I was like, no. Actually, what I was thinking is, like, what are you going to do? Give me an F? Here's your 5,000 words,
Right.
But
you're
didn't really
just
work out
retarded.
that way.
That's sorry. Here you go.
So that's where it gets good. I get called into my platoon sergeant, who's like above my squad leader. He's like the He's pretty high up there, E7, if you know ranks and stuff. So anyway, I'm standing at parade rest, and like both of them are talking to me like, "What the fuck is this, Pool? Like, I think I need to have you drug tested if you actually wrote this." And I was like, "Well, Sergeant, I stayed up late. It made sense when I was writing it."
The first paragraph sucks.
Oh, he was like, "What is this?" He read a line to me. It said, "Maybe my husband should learn responsibility." I was like, I don't know. It made sense when I wrote it. And then he said the thing about like, we might need to check you for drugs if you actually wrote this. And I was like, well, I'm on drugs. I just had surgery. My foot hurts. So, I stayed up late. I was trying to do this to do it right for you. So then
You just wanted to make him happy.
yeah, I was trying to do my duty. No, so the E7, my platoon sergeant was like, if I showed this to the first sergeant, who's like the enlisted commander of the company, if that makes sense.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's that high up.
My platoon sergeant said, if I show this to the guy above me, he's gonna laugh at you. And then I looked him in the eyes and I was like, why? Because I didn't go to college. Like, because I'm not good at writing. Like,
What do you think I'm in the Army for?
like you're gonna bully me. You're gonna bully me because I don't write good. And it was just kind of funny. They really couldn't do anything. They were like, okay, I guess I can't punish him for being retarded.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like when you're an adult and like when your parents get upset with things you do. It's like, well, what? You're not going to fucking ground me. I don't live with you and I'm 25. It's kind of the same thing. Like, there's nothing they can really do about it.
Yeah. It's like, give me an F on it? No. But he did make me, I can't remember what he made me do. It was something different though.
Took you behind
but I was like, whatever.
the mess hall and showed you one or two.
I think he told me to write it again, and I just never did, and everyone forgot about it because what ended up happening was I did things like that so often. My squad leader, who was actually kind of cool, like as my friend, but also technically my boss, he understood that like it was pointless to try to battle a wits meek type of thing.
Yeah, it's just another private reactor does it again.
Yep. Yeah, but I did a lot of stuff like that.
Have you ever put in an honest day of work in your whole life?
Yeah, I was in the Army.
I mean, it sounds like you just put in the minimum effort and cheated
from
your
what
way
I'm
through
understanding,
everything.
you joined the Army. You instantly, you didn't have to do any of like the physical activity because you had a bone in your leg, which everyone does. Then you were oversleeping for your one duty, which was just to sit in a box and do nothing. And that was too much work. You overslept for some reason. So they're like, all right, let's just make them do anything, just anything at all. Write 5,000 words on responsibility. And you actually did do work. You went way out of your way
to not do work.
To fabricate it.
Yes,
yeah.
to make it nonsensical. And you probably could have just, if you'd actually written an essay about responsibility, you could have learned a thing or two.
Yeah, you probably could have actually became responsible.
Or I could have actually just taken it all from one website and they would have never known. But I liked my way better.
That's true. Yeah, they're not going to be looking that up.
So you put more work into making a fake grade A under A video than everything you did in the Army total.
No, the Army was hard work. But like, I mean, if you want me to get into like the backstory of my Army experience, when I joined, I planned on staying in for like 20 years and retiring. Once I was in for a year and a half, I was like gung-ho, like everything they told me to do, I was like, yes, Sergeant, and I would just do it because I was like, this is what I signed up for. And it was fun.
Yeah, because after you saw
following orders,
you saw those towers fall, and you had to kind of take up and do something, give back to your country, and fight for the freedoms that we're all blessed with.
Yeah, go write some essays to stop the terrorists.
If I die, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for everyone else's freedom. That's what I was
you really
thinking.
think that?
No, but not to sidetrack.
No,
not to sidetrack, but a funny thing that people don't actually understand or they don't really think about is every single person who signs the contract, when they're signing it, they're thinking, I might be signing my death warrant right now. I might be killing myself right now. Just because people don't die in the military doesn't make them any less brave. Not saying I'm brave and shit, but I'm saying, that thought is there with everyone. And some of them are just fortunate enough not to die. You know what I mean?
Didn't Trump recently say that troops who die are suckers and losers?
No, troops who get caught.
Okay, that makes you feel better?
No, dude, Trump loves
That's a pretty
soldiers.
fucked up thing to say.
Yeah, that's not very cool.
Yeah, but he hates was it McCain, right? He hates him.
McCain's dead.
Yeah, he hates him.
You just can't.
That's why he was just talking shit. No, they asked him a question.
No, but this is like a recent thing. Like Trump just said this like a month ago.
Years ago. It was years ago.
No, there's a new one.
No, the new one is some bullshit Atlantic story, and the author admitted it might not be true. I don't know.
Oh.
God.
And it's all anonymous sources and shit. And I don't know. I'm not going to give it credit. Because Trump is too... He's got like an unhealthy appreciation for veterans for some reason. For real.
Yeah, I'd say unhealthy.
He's like a fanatic for soldiers. I don't know. But
Well, hey, did you ever get shipped out overseas?
no. Not for a deployment, but...
So you were like playing an army man here where it's safe.
My unit did missions. We would go somewhere in the world for like 2 weeks and then just come back. Oh, but what I was getting at...
Or like build an orphanage for like Haiti victims
No,
with like an earthquake?
We built emergency piers. Like if a pier got destroyed and you couldn't land equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of fun, I guess.
Cool, I guess. But
Yeah, it's more than Rusty's ever done for this country.
What I was getting at is, so I was like all gung-ho, like, oh, this is what I signed up for. One day, we were doing it was like a 5-mile run in the morning, because every morning at 6:30 you do PT for like an hour and a half or something. And
6:30? Why do you got to wake up so early?
Because...
It's the army.
Yeah, because you got to do PT.
They fuck with you.
The army, a normal day stateside in the army is 9 to 5, technically, kind of. But you can be released earlier if you're cool with your command and shit like that. But from 6:30 to, was it like 8, you have to do PT. And then at 8 o'clock, you get to go home and shower and put on your uniform and get back to work. So anyway, this one morning we were doing a 5-mile run. Halfway through it, and I started feeling a pain in my abdomen. And I had never fallen out of a run. Like it was always, I would always just run. It was easy. And I was in really good shape, but I did smoke back then, but that was fine. But anyway, I felt this pain in my abdomen, and I was like, holy fuck, something's wrong. Like it felt like I was being stabbed in my abs. So I slowed down and like fell out of the formation, which is normal when people like, a lot of the people who weren't good runners would like, after running 2 miles, they would just like fall out and walk the rest of the way.
Right.
And so the first time I do it, I felt like I was being stabbed. And this dude who just got promoted to 1 grade higher than me, E5, I was an E4, he stopped the entire formation to run in place. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, something's wrong, Sergeant. I got to walk. And he was like, no, you're running back. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Something's wrong with me right now. And then, but because I had that mentality where it's like, do what they say, I was like, all right. So he made me go to I went back to the front of the formation and ran the last 2.5 miles back to the unit. And after PT that day, I went home and changed and everything, and then found out that I ended up going to the ER because of the pain, and found out I had a hernia. So basically,
dude.
Because I knew something was wrong, but because I had this mentality where it was like, do what they say, don't want to not be in, you don't want to not obey. It wasn't that I didn't want to obey. It was I tried to hide in plain sight. I didn't want to like bring attention to myself,
Yeah, and like you don't really know what's up. Like you could be having like a cramp or some shit, but you're having your guts are literally falling out of your stomach.
It wasn't like that bad, but there was a hole. But after that happened, I was like, what? Like a switch flipped in my mind. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why did I run? Why did I say yes, Sergeant? I should have said fuck off, Sergeant.
Right. Like I don't want to fucking die for this shit.
I'm not gonna fuck up my body worse. Like that was the other thing. It was like, for all I know, I had a little tiny pain in my abdomen, but running 3 miles back is what really fucked me up.
True. Yeah.
So after that, I was just a switch flipped, and I was the worst soldier in the world. Not the worst soldier. Like I got shit done.
4 years or what?
Yeah, I was in for 4 years, but I got shit done. I wasn't the worst soldier in the world, but I did whatever I wanted, kind of.
Right. It's not the same army that we see in like the movies from Vietnam times where, they can kill you and treason is punishable by death and whatnot.
Well, no, I never committed treason. Treason is still punishable by death.
Is it?
It's always been. Well,
I don't know. I guess it is.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they don't kill traitors. That's kind of crazy. Just put them in prison for like, I don't know, man. Death is kind of crazy.
Mumkey, did you ever get swept up in that whole hype, like in high school, whenever the recruiters would come around and try to talk you into joining the army?
No. I was about to ask Reactor if they helped him with the financial assistance, but luckily I didn't need to do that because I was in the top 10% of my class, so I just got my college for free because I'm smart.
Really?
Yeah. I don't owe any student loans.
Oh. Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, they paid for me to go to college. After I got out, I had a 36 month.
The whole thing they paid for?
36 months paid.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, plus you get like $2,000 a month of spending money.
Yang Bucks.
Yeah. What was I
Yeah,
saying?
you're really aging yourself here because I don't think it's like that anymore.
No.
Oh yeah, but I think as time goes on, like the military gets more and more strict. I know, like they couldn't. They probably used to be able to punch people, but for me, they couldn't. It was
True.
It made
Right,
it kind
yeah,
of, like
they-
basic
they
training
can't
was
just-
kind of. It was weird and easy because all they did was yell at you, like, "Oh no, you're gonna yell at me? You're not gonna let me sleep? Oh, this is torture."
What kind of mean things did the drill sergeant yell at you specifically?
A funny story. In the military, there was like this "don't ask, don't tell" thing, right? But they repealed it for some reason.
And you were gay.
Huh? No. It was funny because it was supposed to be "don't ask, don't tell." Like you can be gay in the army as long as no one knows. So when I
And
was
you told somebody?
no, I'm not gay. But when I was in the military, when I was in basic training, one of the drill sergeants was like, during some first aid training, he called me a fat.
No.
And like,
I
remember thinking,
kicked
like-
off the air.
oh shit.
Nah, I say faggot all the time, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about. He was referring to a bundle of sticks. You know.
Right,
No, but
right,
anyway.
right.
Yeah, because
So-
he's going to burn you.
Yeah, at the stake. But one of the things I was thinking is like, at that moment, I could have stood up and been like, "Why would you do that, Sergeant? Why would you tell everyone I'm gay? Now everyone knows."
Oh,
You
shit.
should have.
Yeah, funny. But yeah, I think once they called me that, but usually that was like the craziest thing. Like it was rare. No, you don't hear that shit, which is kind of funny. It's like the military's all PC.
Yeah, it kind of takes the mystery out, but yeah, I hear it's easy, just annoying. I mean, it just isn't what it was. I don't know. I've never really felt any urge to join the military, like any of the pride for fighting. You know what? I listened to a
Yeah.
lot of George Carlin when I was in high school, and so by the time that the recruiters came around, I was just like already that edgelord that was like, don't you know that you're just working for rich politicians and corrupt foreign governments that are trading your lives for blood oil and shit
Yeah,
like that.
I used to think
It's
that.
true.
When
Yeah,
I
know, it is true.
when I was 18, I remember my friend asked me if I wanted to join the reserves or whatever. I was like, yeah, right. Me in the military? That's ridiculous. And then, like a few years later, I ended up joining. Probably had something to do with the housing market crash.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I guess you're probably just around 29 years old.
Yeah.
Don't spoil the game for everybody at home, Rusty.
I mean,
Well,
no.
I mean, anyone can just do the math. They know when the housing market was. It was in 2008, and if you're joining military age, you got to be around.
Maybe he joined when he was underage.
Maybe I joined when I was 36, which was the maximum limit at the time.
Oh man,
Yeah,
this
Rust.
fucking freaks me out. Like, all right, say there was a draft.
They're not getting you, dude.
What is the draft age?
The draft age is you have to have a pancreas and a liver that are operational.
No, do you have to, or is it just like you have to be able to complete? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, they can draft me, but am I going to be able to make it through boot camp? I mean, I'm sure. I
No.
can
No,
get
they
back
can't
into-
make you. They can't make you graduate basic training.
Well, I'm
so-
saying if a draft got. Yeah, but if
I mean, yeah, I guess in a draft, everyone probably tries like sandbagging themselves to get kicked out. Like,
Yeah,
they're just-
exactly.
you
Like
know,
they're
so
just gonna say,
"Fuck
"All right,
you,
you're
in."
front line."
Yeah, all right, you're in. You're
I don't think it would ever
borderline
happen
retarded,
again,
so
man.
you
I
won't-
smell like the biggest class action lawsuit in American history against the government because us millennials are so fucking lazy and selfish. There's no way you could make us all do anything.
They announce a
Well, someone
draft
needs
and then
to-
everyone sues them.
That's it. This is the America we have
Did I-
now.
did I
say
finish
that.
my
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I don't know. I can't remember if I made it to the end because I deviated
Oh,
too
okay.
much.
Well, Rusty, what do you think? If you got drafted, would you go through with it like a pussy or would you say, fuck that, man, I'm staying home?
Would I go through with it like a pussy, or would I stay home?
Yeah, would you lick the fucking boot that's telling you, hey, throw away your life and come fight somebody else's war?
I would go. I would
Bootlicker?
go out of my way to avoid it because I do not believe. I most likely would not believe it.
Because you're a pussy.
Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't do it because I don't believe in it. Like I'll volunteer if it's my choice. Like let's do this. But if you tell me I have to, nope,
Yeah,
not
same
happening.
thing.
Especially if it was Vietnam. Like what the fuck is this war even?
Okay, so I see a bunch of like liberal, I guess uber leftists or something, but like liberal people in my hometown, or I see a lot of liberals just doing this. Like they'll call Trump a coward draft dodger.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? What did you think that there should have been a draft for
Yeah,
Vietnam?
they're like pro draft.
Yeah, it's like that's a horrible thing. Like anyone who dodged the draft, I'm saying I'm 100% on board with them.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
you know they're
fuck that.
intelligent.
Right.
I mean, not saying that people who didn't avoid it weren't, but I mean, they were brave.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't blame anyone for dodging a draft,
Yeah,
especially on a
yeah.
war that has later been proven to have just been,
Bullshit.
absolute bullshit.
Shooting up whole villages of fucking Vietnamese people.
Oh, but this coward dodged the draft.
What was that thing called? Like My Lai or My Lai massacre or something like that?
Oh, fuck.
Right.
That sounds about
Doesn't
right.
sound familiar.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one. Go read the Wikipedia on that one, kids. Find out if you want to join the fucking draft.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
let's move on to some current events while we're
All right, let's do it.
talking about the past.
I have a Kratom update.
Oh yeah, go for it, man.
So far, I'm just feeling a bit lightheaded, feeling a little bit slower. I think I'm probably talking a bit slower, but I don't know.
no.
No, you sound all right.
And really, the only major thing I'm noticing now is that I have to kind of focus more. Otherwise, I'm kind of like blurring, zoning out a little bit. But honestly, I don't feel like high or anything like
Do you
that.
feel
yet.
happier? Like, I mean,
No.
are you getting like that heroin euphoria? Are you like falling asleep? Like,
No, I read that
Just wanna-
it could take like up to an hour for the full
Yeah.
effects to even kick in. So we might be waiting a little bit.
All right, so we're at 39 minutes, maybe.
Well, I did half a dose about an hour ago, so it
Yeah.
should be a full effect pretty soon.
it'll be kicked in by the after show. So everyone who listens to the
Who
after
pays
show
on
will be able to-
Patreon can
yeah.
hear me be high off my ass.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna move into these stories. This first one: a 12-year-old was suspended in Colorado over toy gun seen in virtual class. So basically,
Well, like a Zoom classroom, he had a
he's
gun.
he's doing the homeschooling Zoom thing, and he had a toy gun in the background.
That is so fucking
But that school now,
retarded.
yeah, there's something weird is going on. Like they're hyper, whatever the word is.
How do you get
force
suspended
rates.
when you're stuck at home anyway? They just don't let him log in. They change the password on him.
Yeah,
what
I
is-
never
what
understood
is-
suspending anyway.
There cannot be any fucking laws that are actually in place right now talking about what is allowed and not allowed on Zoom calls. They would have had to just force that through so quick. So some kid's at his house and he's got a toy gun and he's on a Zoom call. It's a 12-year-old. What grade is that? Is that like 6th grade?
That's like eighth,
Yeah.
right?
Probably like 7th.
No, that's like
Seven?
6.
7, 8?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
So he's got a toy gun in the background and he gets suspended from the internet. So he can't, he just can't have an education. He can't.
Yeah, he has to go play Fortnite all day.
Oh,
Oh,
that
man, you sure
sucks.
showed him.
No, I'm wondering what would have happened if he had like a real AR-15 like hanging on the wall.
Oh, right.
You know,
yeah.
it's like,
he
it's
would
like
own
yeah,
it.
yeah, I got an AR in my house. What are you gonna do about it, teacher? Yeah, I'm 12 years old. I'm not playing with it. Get over it.
Yeah, this is like a
Technically, we're in
Second
school.
Amendment issue.
Yeah.
He can't even have a gun in his home.
Yeah, it was a toy even.
Exactly. I mean, because I've heard a couple of kids getting suspended for strange things over Zoom. I mean, obviously these students are fucking with the teachers because the teachers don't understand how to use Zoom, and the kids they're just shouting the N-word and whatever the fuck they want.
It's like it used to be 0 tolerance. Now it's like -10 tolerance. If you have a gun at home, that counts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
Was he pointing the toy gun at the camera and saying, "Yo, white boy, I'm gonna shoot you," or what?
No, I don't think so.
well. Now I think
Well,
you're
then this-
assuming a race here, Mumkey.
No, I saw the story. It's a black kid.
Oh,
Oh, that's what made him flip out.
Yep, maybe the principal's a white guy and he's racist as fuck.
yeah. So I don't know. I remember like whenever there was real school, some kid would do like a finger gun gesture and get suspended.
Really?
Was
yeah,
that you?
that was a story. No, I mean that was like a story from maybe a year ago or some shit like that.
Dude, in Chicago, I know one of the kids in my grade, like I went to elementary school with him, he brought a blank gun to high school, and it was like a Chicago public high school. And from like 2 feet away, he shot one of his friends that I wasn't really good friends with this guy, but he shot him like from 2 feet away in the
That's
eye.
enough to do it.
And blew his eye black. Like his eyes went
God.
like, turned black. At least it wasn't point blank, but it was.
I fucking hate motherfuckers that don't realize that blanks actually
Fuck
shoot
you up.
shit out.
Yeah.
What do they
there's
shoot?
just not bullets, just not caps.
Yeah, it's,
Well,
it's just
he put a
exploding.
real gun up to his face and pulled the trigger.
Not up to his face. He was like 2 feet away, but it gave him a black eye.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like lighting a firecracker off right by your eye. I mean, and some of them have like squib rounds. I mean, you can die from that shit.
Yeah.
I remember there was this guy who used to be in like a videographer, so he'd get a lot of props and whatnot. And he had a real gun with a lot of blank rounds, and he'd get drunk. He was actually my roommate, not current roommate, but an old one. And he'd get drunk, and he'd just like have this gun and just be like shooting it around. I'm having to explain to him, like, listen, man, that can fuck someone up and kill someone.
Oh, he was like, he had a big magazine full of blanks?
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
Like full auto,
Rusty, when we filmed
No,
Wheel
it was
of
a
Punishment
handgun.
1, we were, throwing your gun around, and I had I put your gun up to your head. Was that dangerous or was it safe?
Well, I mean, considering, and of course, always assume that every gun is loaded and blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, that's why, I was very specific, like, hey, Rusty, this is empty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't take
I
his
didn't
word
bring
for
any
it.
ammo.
Still,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
But I could have hurt you if I would have pulled the trigger?
No, because there's nothing in it.
Do you know how blanks work?
So
Do you know
how's
what a
that
blank
different?
is?
No. What's the difference between a blank and an empty?
Do you know how a regular bullet works? How it's got it's like a, what's it called? Like the casing
Primer.
that's full of gunpowder, and then on top of it is a ball of copper cap. You know what I mean? And when you hit the pin,
Not really.
it's basically like a firecracker with a BB glued to the front. So when it explodes, it pops the BB forward down the barrel, right? So
And the barrel spins the bullet around,
yeah,
right?
it's rifled. So the bullet is actually just like the top tip of the round. You know?
And then the little shell falls out the back.
Yeah, the shell. So, but what a blank is, it doesn't have that tip. So it's just the projection gunpowder. So it pops like a firecracker, but there's nothing to blast out the front of the rifle, you know?
Okay.
So if you...
So what, you're shooting air at somebody at 800 miles an hour?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it air, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's exploding gunpowder.
Yeah, it's still... Yeah, it's like... Yeah, I don't know.
But there was nothing like that in your gun when we were playing around with it?
There wasn't anything in it was a revolver, and yeah, there's nothing in it at all.
Okay.
So the hammer hitting nothing.
Oh, yeah, revolvers are easy. It's those automatic or semi-autos that people always confuse. I took the magazine out. Click, click, you know?
Oh, why? Because they're still around in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about guns.
Isn't anything that's not a musket a fucking semi-auto?
No.
Because I heard that just like a normal handgun is semi-automatic because you don't have to fucking...
Auto means you pull the trigger back and it just unloads like an Uzi or some shit.
Right.
Semi-auto means every time you pull the trigger, it fires a bullet. Non-auto.
Yeah, so a handgun would be a semi.
Yeah.
Well, like my
handgun is
revolver,
semi-auto.
for instance, you have to pull back the hammer, then pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So
that's not auto.
it's
That's not
single
semi.
action. If it was double action,
Oh, okay.
then it would be, I guess, semi-auto. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there are any
Okay.
auto revolvers. Are there?
What?
No, I guess
full
revolvers
auto
are...
revolver?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I have
Full
no
auto
idea.
revolver.
A Gatling gun, I guess.
Yeah.
My Renetti on Call of Duty has a 3-round burst when I pull the trigger. Does that count?
You're a damn liar.
It's just a video game. I don't know if it's real.
Anyone who knows anything about guns is probably just cringing and fucking raging out right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm very proud that I know literally nothing about this stuff. That's why it's always so interesting to talk to you guys who own guns and shit.
Funny, I've never actually fired a pistol. Except for a blank gun. I have a
That's
blank.
not part of Army training?
No. But I fired like 50 cals off of Army ships into the water.
That's pretty tight.
But I've never fired a little tiny pistol.
Well, they're
Yeah.
scary,
We should-
and then there's a lot of back force on it, and it makes your hand hurt.
Going back to the story of the kid getting suspended, it's
yeah?
kind of fucked up if you think you're 18 and you're a senior in high school and you'll get, suspended for doing a finger gun at somebody? But then when I was 19, freshman year of college, me and my whole fucking class went paintballing together and shooting each other with fucking paintballs.
That was probably in the before time. I mean, what year
That
was
was
that?
5 years ago.
Yeah.
True. I don't know when things really changed until
It depends on how the thought is slipped into their heads. If you can get around the brainwashing, then they don't realize that it's against their religion.
True. Explain more.
I'm saying, if you said, hey, you want to play Army with guns that shoot paintballs? They'd be like, whoa, guns, no. But if you said, hey, want to play paintball? They'll be like, oh, that sounds fun. Let's do it.
Right. You don't say the word gun. You just say
I feel
paintball.
like
Paintball
I feel like there
projectiles.
is that little area that you can kind of weasel past it if you can make them not think about it.
Well, and also probably not all schools are that fucking crazy. I mean,
I think
you
they
always
are.
hear about the outliers, but well, I mean, Mumkey's wasn't.
Was it? So
Well, that was at college.
Oh, true.
so I had a thought with
For
the
once.
school with the schools being closed down. I was like, I think school shootings this year are going to be very low, which means
They're going to
Trump
be cyber school shootings.
dropped the school shooting rate this year drastically. No, but I was looking up the shootings that had happened, and like they only go up to like February 7th or some shit because that's when schools shut down. But
Right.
one of them was literally a drive-by gang shooting where
Was that in Chicago?
no, where was it? I don't know. It might have been Iowa. I don't know. But you don't have gangs in Iowa?
I don't really think so.
You sure?
There's got to be. A
I mean,
few
you've been
over
in
there.
Chicago
just a
too
couple
long.
of guys
it's pretty
who like
safe
hanging
over
out.
here.
No, but anyway, so yeah, one car was chasing the other, and one guy shot into the school or into the playground and hit a girl in the leg, a 7-year-old
And they
girl or
consider that
something.
a school shooting.
Yep, and that counts. It's like do something
Yeah,
about your
Why the
gang
fuck was she at
violence.
school when everything was closed?
No,
Sounds
it
like
was
she was asking
It was
for it.
before it all happened.
Isn't that fucking bullshit? Because then when they talk about school shootings, they're like, just in the past 2 months alone, there were 2,000 school shootings.
Yeah, another
And it's
one.
like, how the fuck were there 2,000 school shootings? Because you're thinking Columbine shit. Or
Yeah.
like Nick
Or
Cruz.
they want you to
And no,
think
it's
that.
like a bullet went over a fence and killed someone that was in a school.
Or the principal was walking into the school and he noticed there was a round lodged into the brick by the door, and he was like, "Oh, there was
that
a shooting."
counts?
Yeah. Another one was someone in the parking lot who didn't attend the school accidentally shot himself in the foot. Like these are the school shootings we're talking about.
Right. Just to ramp up the numbers because it's all fucking fake and the media is constantly lying and fabricating things to make you think.
So
and
what
vote a
Rusty
certain
Cage
way.
is, what Rusty's trying to say is, if you're gonna do a school, get a high body. Otherwise, Rusty doesn't care.
No,
What's
I
the
don't
point?
think you should do it at all. I mean, that's my personal opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't
That's
do
so brave of you to say.
I normally I don't like to inject my personal politics, into this podcast, but
But you're anti-school.
technically yes.
What about that Nicholas Cruz? You told him to do it.
No,
That's
called
what I
him-
heard.
I called him bad names after he did it.
Yeah, I made fun of Elliot, and look what they did to me.
That's true. Well, I was trying to kind of avoid the whole FBI coming down on me and shutting down my YouTube shit. So I figured I'd just nip it in the bud and get to it first.
You started tweeting like, "Oh, I hate that kid. He's so dumb. I do not approve." Just like putting it all out there.
I don't even know who he is. I've never even associated with him. If my name shows up in that police report, I have nothing to do with it.
So is there like a happy ending to this story? Did he get to go back to school, or is he just expelled for life?
No, it was a 5-day expulsion. Or not expulsion.
What? So he gets like a
suspension.
fucking vacation at the beginning of the fall
That's
semester.
what I was saying before. I never understood suspensions. I was always like, detention, that sucks. Suspend me. Like,
Yeah. Detention is you have to sit in a fucking room, but suspension is you just get to go home.
there's another story. When I was in high school, before I dropped out, I was on the top floor, like the third floor, and one of the teachers, he was like a sub, was walking into the school downstairs while me and my friends were like ignoring the teacher and hanging out the window. And
Safe.
I spit out the window and it landed on the guy's head.
Nice.
So then he comes
On the teacher?
Yeah, who was walking underneath the window.
Did you do that on purpose?
I mean, I didn't think I was actually going to hit him. Like I thought I would.
Did he make you write an essay about like spitting out the window,
no,
5,000
so-
words?
So I was like, oh shit. And me and my friends ran and sat back at our desks and pretend like we were doing our work. And then the dude comes up into my classroom with the school cop, because in Chicago, the high schools have cops in them. And they were like,
What race was the cop?
He was a white dude with a brown mustache, like stereotypical cop.
Okay.
But,
was he fat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might have been the vest. I don't remember. But so they were like, who was it? And then the teacher was like, well, those three were ignoring me over by the window. So we were like, oh,
and
shit,
that's when you pulled your head in and went, so they got a clear shot of your face.
No, I was already sitting in.
Oh,
But, like,
okay.
he didn't see me after I hit him. Yeah, I guess we pulled our faces in. But anyway, so she pointed us out. We all had to go to the dean's office. And it was pretty funny because I was the one who did the spitting, but I totally played it off to where my dean thought that I was afraid of this kid who was half my size. There was he was like this short Arabic kid that I hung out with, but he looked like a little kid. And like I had the dean convinced sitting like that I was afraid of him, and that like the dean was like, if he did it, don't be afraid. You can tell me. I was like,
Now, what grade or were you in at the time?
I was a freshman.
All right, so this was 2001.
I don't remember. 2001.
You don't remember anything.
2005.
All right. Just throwing out some more clues.
So anyway, so I end up getting so I, at like a good friend, take the blame. I was like, whatever, just suspend me. If I'd rather I get punished than all three of us. Like a good person. No, but anyway, I had to take the blame. It was me. But the dean called my house, and my older sister, she's like 4 years older than me, answers, and she was like, yeah, this is his mom. And he was like, all right, well, he's suspended for a week. And she was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll have a stern talking to him when he gets home. And then she never told my parents, so I just kind of hid for 5 days with nowhere to go. It was at the time when my parents were selling their house because their coffee house just went out of business, and the house was collateral on the business loan. So we had moved into a rental house like 2 miles away. And because I had nowhere to go, I ended up breaking into my old house that was like on the market. And I would just chill in there, or like chill in the garage. But one day, it was like the last day, it was like Friday, my dad came to like check on the house. So I'm just like chilling there in my old bedroom, like on the floor, just like waiting for the day to pass. And I hear the key unlocking the door, and I was like, fuck. So I jumped up and really loud, I just ran and like hitting the wall and like pushing myself off, running to the back door. I swung the back door open, like just left it open and ran straight out. And then I ran to my...
So you thought there was like a squatter hiding in the house?
No, he probably knew it was me, but I ran for my life. I kicked open my garage door, ran up to my big garage door and swung it open, like not closing it, and just started running down my alley like, fuck. And then, I don't know, I was like maybe half a block away, and then my dad was behind me yelling, and I was like, fuck. And then he...
well, how's your relationship with your dad now?
No, it was great. I mean, it was never bad. The only punishment he really gave me was bringing me back to school that day in front of everyone.
I used to just print out report cards. Just copy.
You did?
Yeah. I would get the report card. If I got a D or fucking whatever or C, I would.
What class would you get a D in?
Because I didn't give a shit in a lot of these classes. They were dumb.
Wow.
They were too
That
stupid
explains
for my
a lot.
intellect. So yeah, I would just copy the report card and then print out A's on it, and it like fucking thank God whatever programs I was using at the time existed, because that shit was easy.
And also your parents are kind of retarded, so...
No, I wouldn't say that.
Mail it to yourself and everything from the school? That's what I would have done.
No, because we'd bring them home.
Well, I would have sealed it up in a letter. I would have stolen some letterheads from them.
Hey, did you see that live suicide the guy streamed where he like shot himself in the head with a shotgun?
Which
was that
one?
on Facebook Live and then they put it on TikTok?
Yeah. It was like blasted all over TikTok.
Wait,
I didn't watch it. Was it gory?
It was very gory. Yeah, it was.
What did the guy look like?
He is like a white guy. He had a big beard, was wearing glasses, and he was on the
okay.
phone, I think, talking to his girlfriend. And the clip I saw, he was talking to her, and he's like, oh yeah, all right, so that's where you are. And then he like hangs up, looks at the camera, and he's like, all right, boys, I guess this is it. Puts the fucking gun under his chin or whatever, and just pulls the trigger, and his head just explodes.
And he died?
I believe so. I believe that's
I
what
guess you'll have to
happened.
show it to me when I walk into your house.
Yeah, that'll be the first thing you see. I also have a couple other gory videos to show you guys.
He died at the hospital.
Great.
What?
He ended up, the ambulance brought him to the hospital, and he was dead on arrival.
Yeah, okay. Oh, so he didn't actually die at his house when his head exploded. It was only whenever he got to the hospital and they could say that he was
I guess
for
they were doing
sure
CPR
dead.
or something, the paramedics.
CPR on that? Oh my God, man.
Every time they do it,
was like a
his
fucking
neck
crushed watermelon.
His neck artery will just like spray every time they CPR.
You bring this up, Rusty, because you think after a month of sobriety you're going to kill yourself on live stream?
No, I would never do that. I was just bringing it up because I was really fucking bored hearing about these stories going nowhere about
Wow.
Oh, really?
Wow. I was entertained from beginning to end by everything Reactor had to say, but
Yeah.
I guess some of us are just better listeners
Well,
than
you're
others.
on Kratom and Reactor's on heroin.
Yeah, I guess when I'm high, everything's a little more interesting.
I'm sorry, Reactor. I didn't mean to say that. Like that was a rude thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before the show, Reactor was telling me in confidence that he's kind of feeling a little worried that maybe you don't think that he belongs on the show because he might be a little boring. So I'm glad you're confirming that,
Wait, you didn't say
live
that.
on there. He said
yeah,
that to
I did
me,
say
yeah.
it. Yeah, I say it to Mumkey every day.
Yeah, he's like, man, I hope Rusty still likes me. He's been acting like I'm too boring on the show.
I'm like, hey, Mumkey, is today the day he kicks me off?
And I'm always like, I don't know, man. I always try to put in a good word, but Rusty, he controls his podcast with an iron fist. He kicked off Emp, and now he's going to kick off Reactor.
All right, let's stop talking about Rusty.
Yeah, please.
No, we only did one news article.
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Okay, all right.
All right, let's see what I got.
Now that we're 2 hours in,
well.
or 1 hour, I say we just keep going. Fuck it, man. While we're at it,
No.
let's do one
yes.
more story. Let's do one.
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, one more story.
All right, so there's a story that has to do with police shootings, and I think it's pretty relevant right now because I guess they just said there's no immunity for the cop who did the shooting. They ruled there's no immunity, but the shooting came from 2014, and it's weird because it was a white guy who found a stray dog, and he decided to take the dog to the shelter. When he got to the shelter, they said, we're not taking that dog unless you have an ID. And he said, I don't have an ID. I'm a sovereign citizen of whatever those people say. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
he was like a super
Yeah,
libertarian.
they're just asking for trouble. But anyway, he was like, I don't have an ID. And she was like, all right, well, we're not taking the dog. And he was like, but it's not my dog. I'm just going to leave it outside then because I just came here to help you get the dog. It was like stray running around. And she ended up, some cop who worked there ended up calling for backup from the police department or something. And in the video, you see him the cop talking to the other cop, getting briefed on the situation. And the male cop tells the guy to stay by his car, and the guy kind of just walks around, wandering around his car. So the cop gets pissed off, and the guy's like, "What? Okay, I'll stay by my car." And the guy was like, the cop was like, "That's it, you're under arrest." And he was like, "Dude, what? I'm just bringing a dog here, man. What the fuck?" But the guy ended up fighting the cop, and yeah,
He was fighting the cop?
not fighting like BLM people do. He was resisting. Don't handcuff me. Let's talk, man. Stop.
He's doing that annoying shit where it's you're
it's
going way out of your way not to get arrested by acting like I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah, well, but he wasn't. I mean, I understand, kind of. I wouldn't have. This isn't the kind of fighting a cop that even warrants shooting. No one's in danger. He's in a headlock and he's struggling.
It's like a crazy guy. Yeah, you can deal with
but
him in other ways.
He wasn't really crazy though. He was. I mean, I feel like I would be pretty pissed off if I went to bring a dog to the dog pound.
Right.
Get
and
it
it
off the street.
escalated into something
and
where
now
you're
I'm getting
having
choked
to
up
deal
by a
with this.
cop because I wouldn't sit on my car. But it's so dude, if this guy was black, this would have been Armageddon.
Is there a video of
Now,
this?
it sounds like a typical Karen scenario to me. He walks in, he says, "Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen. Fuck you. I won't show you my ID." They try to tell him, "No, you can't do this. We have fucking rules and regulations here."
Maybe.
He fucking argues with them, and he gets so heated that they have to get the police involved. Fuck this guy.
But anyway, so
Well, I mean, I do agree with that. From the way that you're telling it, it seems like. I mean, I don't ever think that the police should have escalated to this, but at the same time, it seems like he wasn't necessarily acting normal.
yeah. But my point is, in this situation, this guy wasn't committing a crime and resisting arrest. He was trying to get, a good deed done, and now cops were involved for no reason, just because he said he's going to leave the dog here because he has no ID. He's not going to bring the dog back to the woods where he found it.
Right.
But,
I know,
is he driving around without an ID?
Yeah, I suppose.
That's against the law. No driver's license. Arrest that guy.
He's a sovereign citizen. He doesn't need one.
Bullshit.
No, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but that,
yeah, I know. I know. That's
what a
they say
fucking triggering type of triggering your senses type of thing. If you're a cop, there's a guy with a dog, and it's all right, but you don't have a driver's license, and you're driving a car, and then this dude's automatically acting fucking weird.
He wasn't acting
Which
weird,
video should I watch? Is this going to be long? Can I watch the
There's
shooting?
no, just if you go to the second video,
Okay.
towards the bottom, that's
I'm
just
gonna.
the shooting.
I think my mic might pick up some of the audio. So
Can you plug the video into the podcast?
I don't know if I will be able to yet, but if I can, then I will. Is this
Why
on
don't you-
YouTube?
If you pick up some of the audio, you can just lay the video over it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was just wondering if I'll actually be able to put this in a video on the podcast for the viewers to see.
Well, I mean, after
Oh,
your
yeah, I think you
fucking
will. Definitely
electric
will.
mouse
So anyway,
video, I don't think you're scared to put anything in a video.
So the rest of the video, though, so this dude is struggling to get out of a headlock from the cop, and I don't see any danger unless this dude had a weapon or something. And I think I heard someone say something about a gun, And I know he resisted 2 tasers. So it's very similar to the Jacob Blake, actually. Except he was doing a good deed. Jacob Blake was breaking a restraining order, you know? And
All right, I'm going to watch it. It's 3 minutes.
the shooting happens as he's like trying to get out of this headlock. The female cop who instigated the whole situation reaches around and like point blanks him in the stomach.
Sorry, I'm turning it down. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying like this wasn't like a, oh my God, he's going for something in his car. It was, this dude is in a headlock by one cop, but he's struggling to try getting away, but he's not getting away. He's in a headlock.
All right, I see the guy on the ground. It looks like...
No, right at the very beginning of that video.
Oh, that's where he gets shot?
Yeah, you see the cop reach around from behind.
Oh, it's at the very beginning of that second one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Continue the build up. So he was in a headlock. There was a woman cop.
The woman cop just pulls her gun out, puts it to his stomach, and fires it. And it's like,
fuck.
He wasn't like, there's a big difference between, you know, if he was like running into his car. Cops are afraid of that because you could have guns in your car and you're trying to defend yourself from them, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how they die. But if you're in a headlock trying to wiggle out of a headlock, your life isn't in danger, you know? Or I mean, the cop's life isn't in danger. He's got you in a headlock. If the guy pulls out a knife, then shoot you, then you can get shot, you know?
All right, I'm turning this up. Let's see here. It's playing now.
Yeah, I don't know. This feels like a little bit of like the Darwin Award thing to me, where you just have to know in this day and age that
fucking God, man.
You saw that?
Holy
like,
shit.
How she reaches around and just pops him in the belly?
Yeah, but you have to understand that cops are fucking pussies and cowards,
yeah,
and that if you try to physically fight them, they will shoot you.
No, this is like a fucking mafia hit.
Yeah, right?
There are 3 people holding this guy against a car. He's in a headlock. There's another guy holding him. There's another guy like trying to get at him, and this lady's like behind those people. She just reaches around for like out of nowhere and just shoots the guy directly in the stomach.
Yeah, like what the fuck? It's insane.
I think I could.
I feel like
I have to put that on here.
If you wanted justice against police brutality, this is the type of video. You know, like
that's ridiculous. That is fucking. That doesn't even make sense. She's not even in position to be doing anything like that.
Why did she have her firearm out when she could have been handcuffing the guy while the dude had him in a headlock? You know?
Well, yeah, but you had to shoot him in the stomach so he could stop moving.
So did this cop like get off easy or what?
I don't actually know.
She gets off on shooting.
Because I know you're like trying to compare this to like, more modern things, but the whole idea is that like if the cop gets punished, then justice was served.
Well, cops
People
always
are more
get
mad
punished.
that cops are getting away with it.
Cops never get away with anything. What is it?
He said they don't.
What do you mean they don't get away with anything? The fucking guy who shot Breonna Taylor sleeping in her bed is still a free man.
Yeah, but he got suspended
but
without.
that's because he had a warrant.
He should be fucking in prison. That's why they're pissed.
Well, no, we don't know what happened.
Yeah, there's body cam footage. He walked into a bedroom and shot a woman who was asleep.
Really?
Didn't the other cop? The other cop that had
you guys
like
not paying
fucking
attention to this fucking shit? They've been talking about it for months.
I didn't watch that video.
Selective hearing. These fucking white people. I'm telling you, whenever they say they're demons, I believe them.
I feel like I see all the videos, so when one doesn't pop up into my view, it must not exist.
Well, you saw the fucking one where the dude was on his hands and knees, like crying, begging for his life in the hotel.
Oh, that one pissed me off too. In the hotel lobby or whatever, in the hallway.
Guy's free, but
crying.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, nothing because he's white. It's like, and that's all. That's another reason that people are fighting against BLM. Not only because they use the communist China fist as their logo, but because
that's also the Black Power logo.
Yeah, it's the communist logo though.
That's
fight oppression, I suppose.
Everyone uses
something like that.
Yeah, everybody has a fist.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, so you're just saying like that. Yeah. So the guy who shot the white guy in the hotel got off, but also the cop who shot Breonna Taylor got off. I guess I didn't read that story.
I guess if there's a camera, that is weird and it doesn't make sense.
Well,
yeah,
it's really weird.
Man, as much as I was, saying that this guy shouldn't have resisted and that, shooting him in the gut, whatever. I also sternly believe that any cop who's fucking killing people, why are they given immunity at all? Lock them up.
Hey, because we can't have police if they go to prison every time they shoot someone.
No, yeah, we can. We'll still have all the cops that don't shoot people.
Cops have to shoot people.
Well, that don't shoot people.
Because
Who are sleeping in their bed.
Isn't it clear that this cop did something that's way fucking beyond normal protocol, I guess?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so lock the bitch up.
Yeah.
And throw away the key.
But the article that brought me to it
exactly.
is talking more about the no immunity. The cop doesn't have immunity, so she can get sued in a civil court, which is good, I guess.
Sued? She should be fucking rotting under the prison.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
Mumkey, did you watch the video?
I watched the first 25 seconds if that's when it happened. I didn't really... It's too small to even tell what's going on.
just gotta make it
Just
bigger.
open it up and watch it.
The first 2 seconds of
It's
the
not too
lower
far
end.
into it.
Okay.
It's like
happens
less than
right
a
away.
minute.
No, the shooting's
Yeah,
not
right after the graphics.
the long video. Yeah, the long video doesn't have the shooting. It's a very short video that has it. I mean, while we keep talking about it.
Mumkey's first Kratom experience.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, fucking... I can understand people rioting in the streets because cops are just shooting people unjustifiably, and then they get off scot-free.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that wouldn't piss anybody off, especially a libertarian. They should be fucking pissed.
I guess the cop he probably didn't get in trouble if they're talking about having no civil immunity.
I don't know.
Like
I don't
O.J.
know what
Simpson
any of that means.
was cleared of all charges, but he was still sued in civil court. You know.
Yeah, but it's just I don't fucking like. I don't know. I guess, yeah, but you have to go out of your way to sue someone. You know how difficult it is and how expensive it is to sue someone. There should be actual repercussions within the police force itself.
And that's another reason the poor get screwed by
no
the
one
justice
polices
system.
the police. Like, if something's that fucking obvious, well, look at me on my high horse.
Yeah. But I think it's rare. I don't know what was up with that lady. Why did she do that? Like, well,
Oh, she was probably on her period.
yep, probably sick of dealing with it. Like, oh my God, this fucking dude won't stop.
Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. It's not a vehicle. It's a self-containing vessel, and you do not need a license to operate a vessel.
Some shit like that, right?
You guys want to hear about how somebody tried to get me shot by the cops a couple of weeks ago?
No, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, some fucking diehard Mumkey Jones fan emailed my local police department, and they gave them they were pretending to be me, and they said, oh hey, my name is full name, address, phone number, and I'm planning on shooting up the local hospital on this date. What are you gonna do about it? But they're obviously trying to get me swatted.
Yeah.
But jokes on all these fucking little teenage retards at home. Literally the day I moved in, I went to the police station and said, hey, I'm a semi-famous YouTuber. People will probably try to swat me. And the chief of police says, joke's on them. We don't have a fucking SWAT team. So
No one was going to do shit.
Now, every time that somebody tries to fuck with me, I'm fucking friends with the chief of police. He calls me up on the phone and says, oh, yeah, did you do this? Oh,
I'm
no, you
friends
didn't?
with the chief of police. Play poker
I
with
mean,
him
at
every
this
Tuesday.
point, I am with how much he has to call me and let me know all the dumb shit kids are trying to do to get me killed.
Joke's on him. It's actually you sending the threats.
Well, no, the joke's on whoever sent the email, because now there's an investigation against them for committing a federal crime, and I got off. I mean, I had a 2-minute phone call and it was over.
Yeah,
so I guess keep it up, retards.
That same police station that doesn't have a SWAT team, they're passing it off to the feds and working with them, hand in hand to figure out who this person is.
Well, I mean, they're going to be investigating whoever sent it a lot more than they're going to be looking into me.
How'd they get your information?
Because I told them that this is going to happen.
No, not the cops. How did the people get your information?
Oh, everybody has my fucking info, dude.
Oh, what's your address?
I'll text it to you.
Oh, everyone
already has it. Yeah, it's because they don't. They can find it if they do work, but we're not going to make it easy.
All I'm saying is if you fucking little retard trolls at home want to get me killed, you're going to have to try a lot harder than that, because the cops in my city are on my side.
That's fucking tight, actually, though. I mean, that's the smartest thing to do is, definitely communicate with your local
if you
police
guys haven't
force.
got yourself on, like, the blacklist yet, you probably should, or whitelist, or whatever you call it. Just call them up and say, hey, I'm a streamer, and people try to swat me all the time, and they'll never send a SWAT team to your house.
Yeah, I live in Chicago.
I'm surprised criminals don't do that more often.
Right, then you can get away with shooting up a grocery store or whatever.
Hey, just so you guys know, I'm a famous YouTuber, so people might try calling you and telling you I'm a drug dealer. Just ignore them.
I mean, literally, yes. Instead of investigating, the cop just calls me on my personal cell phone and asked me if I did it.
Yeah, isn't that what the YouTube shooter said? I'm
Is
I'm
it?
a very famous YouTuber. Someone might try
one-
to frame me for a shooting at YouTube's headquarters.
They said that?
No,
Oh, what the fuck?
that fucking
That's a
lady
little-
didn't
No, I
kill
know,
anyone
yeah.
but herself.
Oh, really?
I think that was it. Yeah, she tried to kill
I
everyone.
thought she tried killing her boyfriend, right?
Yeah, some shit like that. Well, that's a good note, I think, to end the podcast on.
Yeah, that'll do.
But if you want to hear the extended show, go check out our Patreon, because after every show, we go on for another fucking half an hour with dumb bullshit.
I don't like being interrupted, Mumkey.
Good.
Well, say goodnight. Say goodnight, Reactor.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, wait, don't go yet. The after show, it's on Patreon, TrashRats.org. Follow us on blah, blah, blah if you don't. Yeah, I don't know. All that shit.
Yeah, you know, all the links are in the description.
Yeah, just like, do the thing.
Later, and now we're going to be talking to Mumkey, who's probably getting close to full Kratom.
Oh, baby.